Hey everyone,
I'm Jason,
and I'm Colton.
and today we're going to be playing Moon Hunters, a multiplayer action RPG.
Now available on Steam. So, Moon Hunters is a multiplayer online RPG now available on Steam. It is produced by.
Oh god, I forgot who produced it.
I'll edit it in. So, it's sort of like a Diablo style top-down game. You maneuver around with WASD and the
Or with a controller if you're fancy.
right, or a controller. It's like a twin stick RPG in some
It's
ways.
very much like a Smash TV
style
twin
game.
stick style controls.
Yeah, there are several different characters, each one with a unique role. There's my favorite character, the sword mage,
The Swordomancer.
yeah, the Swordomancer, whose role is to be quick and to cut you. Jason played for our playthrough the druid, I believe.
No, I played the Blood Witch.
The blood witch, who's a ranged mage type
Wanted
character.
to play the Sun Cultist, but it's not available in the beta.
No, they should really give it to us and us only, so that
I
we have
agree.
exclusive footage.
I agree
that.
wholeheartedly.
Anyway, it's a pretty fun game. Jason, fill us in on what the story's about.
The whole purpose of Moon Hunters is to have your deeds etched into the stars in a constellation. This is a really ancient sort of civilization, and so this is obviously in a time where constellations and the deeds of epic heroes are important. So you have about 4 days worth of game time. So each time you complete a map, you set camp and you end your day.
Right.
And at the end of those 4 days, the big bad shows up and you got to throw down.
Yes.
With however good you got.
Right, and it's important to note that the when you set up camp at night, it gives way to the upgrade system, which different activities you do during your camping between stages allow you to upgrade stats of your characters, adjust your build, gain new abilities, all types of things that you can do. You can also buy abilities from shops, and the overall goal is to beat the big bad and have your deeds etched into the stars.
Be the badass you know you can be.
Right, which is cool because everything that you do in this game matters.
Every word choice, every talking to NPCs, no matter what you do, how insignificant it might seem, it ultimately matters. Like if you flirt with the creepy old witch in the cave, which I may have accidentally totally done in my solo run, you gain a skill for it, and she might come back to help you later.
Right, which is you did on purpose. So, but that's the interesting thing too. Speaking of dialogue choices, is that in multiplayer, everyone gets to vote on a dialogue choice, and then it's random chance whichever dialogue choice gets selected. So if one person is a humongous chode in your group, there's
Colton.
always a chance that the chode wins. And
Colton.
the chode should never win. I don't know who you're talking about.
We have the footage to prove it.
I don't know what sort of individual you think would do such a thing. All in all, the game is really fun.
It's very retro.
It is. It's got a very like almost like early Prince of Persia type art style, like the early like Nintendo versions. The attacks are all really snappy. It feels really satisfying to wail on something as fast as you can, and use your cool abilities.
All the abilities are so cool.
Yeah, like, and some of them are passive buffs, some of them are like spells or
Shooting beams of blood at people.
big attacks you can do. Yes, exactly. All in all, it's a really fun multiplayer experience. There's some bugs in the beta, but they're being worked out. It is a beta, so that is perfectly understandable.
It may have caused some problems in our playthrough, but we still enjoyed playing it.
It was such a fun game. I was really willing to be lenient on it. I was blown away just by how the music is fantastic in this game.
I love the sounds in the game.
The dialogue is very well written. Combat is
forced.
Combat is fun. I didn't get a whole ton of the story because our gameplay kept getting interrupted by disconnects. And right now in its current beta state, when you disconnect, you have to close the game down completely and start over, which it doesn't save your progress. So it's
if you save beforehand, it should be fine.
yeah, but in multiplayer,
I think you can still save your. I'm not sure because I played for my review, my written review. I played solo.
Okay. But all in all, I really, really enjoy this game. I mean, that's really all there is to say. It's a pretty fantastic game.
There was a really interesting bug in the early beta, though. When I was playing solo, I wound up being stuck playing 2 characters at once on one controller. So I had the Swordomancer and I had the Druid, desperately trying to use my keyboard and controller at the same time. Because I locked in one, and it locked in the other on it, like, virtually on its own. I was so confused and frustrated.
That's intense.
And maybe if someone would have played it with me like they were supposed to...
I did play it with you. We played it with you in the footage.
No, in the original write-up back in December.
Then
when I was home, I said, Colton, I need you to play this with me. You're like, yeah, no problem. I'll do it.
That's an accurate representation of events. I was too busy thinking about cartoons. A favorite pastime of mine.
Colton spent the entire conversation preparing for this review, suggesting Tiny Toons games for me to play for the channel.
Yes. It was. I'm still working on it. Don't hold your breath, though. But all in all, final thoughts. Moon Hunters. I really enjoyed what I got to play. I'd love to see the final product and get to try all the different characters and really explore in depth all of the branching story paths.
For such a short game, because it is short,
but it has massive replayability.
It has a ton of replayability. There's so many stages you can go through, so many different choices you can make. It's a lot more fun with friends.
Yes, and there are a lot of different constellations to unlock based on the different branching paths that you take.
Yeah, your choices determine what you do in the sky, and it's actually that's the whole point of me loving this game. I first played it at PAX. Me and Darren were very, very, very drunk.
Yes,
and we were at an indie games party, and we met the creators. And we only got to play through like 2 stages worth of content, but it blew me away, drunk or not. I went back to the convention the next day to play some more of it.
Right. The only real negative I'd say as a final thought is that when you're in camp and you try to level up, you can't, if somebody does one activity, you can't go do the same thing as them.
Yeah, you can't have 2 people looking at the stars or hunting.
So if you have
gathering meat.
If you have some jackass who goes hunting and then robs you of getting the attack damage stat upgrade,
sounds like you need to get good, son.
Then you might end up in a tough way when you are the actual attack damage dealer, you piece of shit.
I don't know what you're referring to.
Any old way, Moon Hunter is now available. Moon Hunter is now available on Steam.
It's a lot of fun.
Please go buy this game. It is absolutely worth every single penny.
It absolutely is.
And we will see you next time
on Bottom Tier.
Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words,